Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rhiannon and today I'm giving you guys my April TBR and the 10th round of Rhiannon's Bookish Bingo. If you don't know what Bookish Bingo is, it is a TBR game where every month I spin a bingo cage. Every number in here actually has a specific prompt, and so whatever number I get, I then have to find a book that fulfills that specific prompt. As I've said, this is the 10th round, and so I will leave the Bookish Bingo playlist down below for you guys in case you do want more information on the game or you just want to check out the other rounds that I've done. Before we dive into the spins though, please make sure to double check that you are subscribed to my channel. Every time someone subscribes, it truly does mean the world to me, and it also really helps this channel out as well, so please do that if you haven't already. I do post Bookish videos every week, and so if that sounds like your type of thing, you definitely won't regret it. For this little part of the video, I do actually need your guys' help. I didn't actually manage to complete all the books off of my TBR for March, and normally I would give myself a punishment. However, at this current point in my life, the last thing I want to be doing is forcing myself to read, and so I've decided that instead of punishing myself for not completing a TBR, I can reward myself when I do complete a TBR. I'm a bit confused as to what I want to do with that though, so if you do have any suggestions for me, please leave them down below. I did also ask on Twitter and I had some really good recommendations, so if you have any ideas for a reward for me, then please do leave it down below. I just think that's going to make life a whole lot easier for me. I'm not going to feel as much pressure to read, and so hopefully because of that I will want to finish out my TBR and I will want to complete all the books that I set myself for the month. Right, I'm aware that this has been a very long intro, so without further ado, let's just dive into the first spin. So first off, we got number 8. So for the first spin, we did get number 8, and unfortunately number 8 is not on the bingo board. The prompt for that though is to read a middle grade, and I do actually have the perfect book for this, and that is Marion and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book. It has so much hype at the minute, and I honestly just want to get in on that. In this one, we follow our main character Amari, and one day her brother goes missing, and nobody in this world seems to care. And so when she's invited for a trial at the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs, she jumps at the chance. Amari ends up having to compete against kids that have known this world their entire life. I'm pretty sure she is new to this magical element of the world, and if she doesn't pass these 3 tryouts, then she might never find out what actually happened to her brother. That is all I want to know diving into this book. I feel like it's going to be such a magical and amazing read. Again, I've heard nothing but amazing things about it, and I genuinely cannot wait to pick this one up. Next up is number 16. Next up we got number 16, and excitingly guys, 16 is actually on the bingo board, so I will just go ahead and cross that off. So all we need now is to cross off 2 more numbers off the board, and then I will be doing a giveaway. So I really hope we can get them crossed off soon. But the prompt for number 16 is POC, so that is to read a book by a person of colour. And for this one, I've gone for The Honjin Murders by Seishi Yokomizo. This is a Japanese murder mystery. It's actually been translated by Louise Hill Kawai, and I've just wanted to pick this up since the moment I bought it. For this one, I am going to read you the synopsis because I definitely don't feel like I could do it justice. But it does just say, in the winter of 1937, the village of Okamura is abuzz with excitement over the forthcoming Ichiyanagi wedding. But amid the gossip, there is also a worrying rumour. It seems a sinister masked man has been asking questions around the village. Then, on the night of the wedding, the Ichiyanagi household are awoken by a terrible scream, followed by the sound of eerie music. Death has come to Okamura, leaving no trace but a bloody samurai sword thrust into the pristine snow outside the house. Soon, amateur detective Kosuke Kindaichi is on the scene to investigate what will become a legendary murder case. But can this scruffy sleuth solve a seemingly impossible crime? That just sounds absolutely amazing. I feel like it's definitely going to be a really good and intriguing murder mystery, and that's all I'm in the mood for right now, so I'm hoping that this will definitely hit the spot. Next up is number 73. Next up we got number 73, and 73 is not on the bingo board. The prompt for that though is series, so start a new series or continue on with the series, and what better book for me to pick for this one than Heir of Fire by Sarah J Maas. If you don't know, I have started rereading the Throne of Glass series this year. I am participating in Tog-along, which is the Throne of Glass read-along that's happening at the minute, and I genuinely cannot wait to dive into this book. This is the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series, so I can't tell you too much about this one specifically, but I'm sure you all know what Throne of Glass is about. about. If not though, it is about an assassin named Selena Sardothian, and one day she is given the chance to compete to be the king's champion, or rather the king's assassin. When she gets to the castle though, she soon realises that it's not just the competitors that she needs to look out for. Something evil is at work in the castle, and so she ultimately has to try and eliminate this threat before this evil magic takes a hold on her. This book is a lot chunkier than the first two books in the series, but I just fly through these books. They're so easy to fall back into, and on this reread I'm actually finding out that I'd forgotten a lot of stuff about this series, so I definitely cannot wait to dive into this and see what's in store for me. I feel like this is definitely going to be one of the first books that I read this month because again, I just cannot wait to dive into it. It's so hard not to just sit down and binge this series, but I am pacing myself, I am keeping up with the read along, so it is only going to be this one that I'll be getting to this month. Our next spin gave us number 72. Next up we got number 72, and once again 72 is on the bingo board, so I will just cross that out. This is so exciting, guys. So we only need one more number to be crossed off the board before I can host a giveaway, and I genuinely cannot wait for that to happen. But the prompt for number 72 is to read a book that I got in a subscription box. Now, if you saw my last TBR, you might have an inkling as to which book I'm going to show you guys, and that one is Law by Alexandra Bracken. This wasn't officially on my TBR last month, but I did want to try and get to it. However, that didn't happen, so I'm really glad that I managed to squeeze it onto this month's TBR. This is a Greek myth retelling, and I'm so excited for it. If you guys don't know, I absolutely love anything to do with ancient Greece, and so as soon as I heard about this book I knew I needed to have it, and luckily it was one of the books of the month for Fairy Loot. I do actually have an unboxing for that book, so I will leave it up above if you do want to check it out. But this book is just absolutely stunning. It has a stenciled design of some snakes on the pages, and it does also have this design on the dust jacket, which is of Medusa, who is one of my favourite figures from the Greek myths, so that just has me even more intrigued to dive into this book. For this one it says, in modern day New York, a murderous game is about to begin, the Aegon. Every 7 years, for 1 week only, Zeus punishes the gods by forcing them to walk the earth as mortals, savagely hunted by the descendants of ancient bloodlines, all eager to kill a god and seize their divine power and immortality. After her family was brutally murdered by a rival line, Lord Perseus fled, turning her back on the Aegon's cruel promise of eternal glory. For years, Law has honoured her parents' memory by doing one thing, surviving. For years, she has pushed away dark thoughts of revenge until now. As the next game dawns, Law finds Athena gravely wounded on her doorstep. The goddess offers her an alliance against their mutual enemy and a way to leave the Aegon behind forever. But Law's decision to rejoin the hunt will come at a deadly cost, and may not be enough to stop the rise of a new god with the power to destroy all of humanity. I was gutted that I didn't manage to read this book last month, but I'm so glad to be getting to it this month instead. I just have a feeling that I'm going to love this book, and again, I just cannot wait to dive into it. And our final spin gave us number 9. So we finally come to the last spin, and that gave us number 9. Unfortunately, number 9 is not on the bingo board, but the prompt for that is to read a new to me author. For this one, I've gone for Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I'm actually going to be buddy reading this with Rachel from Rachel Curris and Joe from Jo Annotations. I bought this book on Joe's recommendation, and so it's only fitting that we buddy read it together. And then I was watching one of Rachel's latest videos, and she mentioned this book, and I said that I had it and I wanted to read it, and so that's how the buddy read all came together. Frederick Bachman is an author that I've heard nothing but good things about, and I'm really eager to dive into this book to see what all the hype is about. Again, for this one I will just read you the synopsis because I really don't want to get anything wrong, but it does just say, Beartown is a small town in a large forest. For most of the year it's under a thick blanket of snow, experiencing the kind of cold and dark that brings people closer together or pulls them apart. Its isolation means that Beartown has been slowly shrinking with each passing year, but now the town is on the verge of an astonishing revival. A bright new future is just around the corner, until the day it's all put in jeopardy by a single brutal act. It divides the town into those who think it should be hushed up and forgotten, and those who'll risk the future to see justice done. At last, it falls to one young person to find the courage to speak the truth that it seems no one else wants to hear. With the town's future at stake, no one can stand by or stay silent. Everyone is on one side or the other. That just sounds absolutely incredible. Just from the synopsis alone, I definitely feel like it could be a new favourite of mine. It seems to have all the elements in a book that I really do enjoy, and I also feel like buddy reading it with Joe and Rachel will definitely make the experience an even better one. So those are all the books that Bookish Bingo have chosen for me to read in April, but I'm not done yet. I do actually have 3 more books that I need to talk to you guys about today because I do have to read them this month. The first of those being Harrow Lake by Kat Ellis. This is another buddy read for me. I am actually buddy reading it with Chloe from Chloe Reads Books. All I know about this book is that it's a horror cult type of novel, and I'm honestly so scared to dive into it. For this one, it does just say, Lola knows all about Harrow Lake. Her famous father directed Nightjar, the cult horror movie that was filmed filmed there. She knows about the caves beneath the fairground, the sunken graveyard, the tree in the woods that's hung with teeth, but she doesn't know about the dark past the town hides or the secrets it holds about her family. Now she finds herself in Harrow Lake, and as she searches for answers, someone or something is stalking her every move. In Harrow Lake, the truth can be the death of you. If you know me, you'll know that I'm not the best with thrillers or horror books. I just hate the suspense of it all, and I just cannot deal with it, so I'm really scared to dive into this one. I know Chloe recently put up her TBR for the month, and someone did say to read this book whilst it's light outside because it's absolutely terrifying, which just makes me all the more scared to dive into it. Then next up we have Fool's Errand by Robin Hobb. This is the first book in her third trilogy within the Realm of the Elderling series, and I'm reading this one as part of Elderlingalong, which is a read-along hosted by Becca from Becca and the Books for her book club Catch-Up Book Club. I've been reading the Realm of the Elderling series for about a year now. We have currently read the first 6 books in the Realm of the Elderling series, and I genuinely cannot wait to get to this one. Robin Hobb has fast become a favourite author of mine. I've given all of her books 5 stars, and I genuinely just want more content from this world. I can't really give you a synopsis for this book because it does follow characters from the first trilogy, and I feel like if I tell you who those characters are, it will definitely be a spoiler. But in the first book, The Assassin's Apprentice, we follow a boy named Fitz, who is the bastard-born son of Prince Chivalry. One day, his grandfather takes him to the castle and just leaves him there, and so Fitz is entrusted into the care of Burrich, who is the master of the hounds at the keep. As Fitz starts to grow, the king realises that he could be a very valuable asset, and so he's actually trained as an assassin and to also use the traditional magic of the Farseer family. However, there are people that don't like Fitz at all and would do anything to get him out the way, and so he lives his life in constant danger. But despite all the odds, Fitz must survive because he may be destined to save the entire kingdom. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. I definitely don't want to give away too much. I feel like it's definitely a series you just need to dive into and experience for yourself, but I cannot wait to read this book. I will definitely be listening to the audiobook as well as reading this physically. I've been doing that for all the books so far, and I've just had the best time. I'm so excited to follow the characters again, and so this is definitely one that I will be finishing out this month. And then the final book that I want to get to this month is Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. Now, I don't have a physical copy of this. I really need to get around to buying it, but if you saw my Bookathon vlog, you'll know that I did manage to read Truth Witch during that readathon. Truth Witch is actually the first book in the series, and I am reading that series as part of Witchlandsalong, which is a readathon hosted by Jade over at JD Ray Reads. In that first one, we follow our main character, Safi, and as the title suggests, she is a Truth Witch. Now, this is a very dangerous thing to be because she can actually tell when people are lying or when people are telling the truth. And so obviously if anyone found out what she was, she would ultimately be used as a pawn. But one day, after clashing with the guildmaster and his blood witch bodyguard, Safi is forced to flee with her best friend Iseult. All Safi and Iseult want is their freedom, but with war looming, treaties breaking, and a magical contagion sweeping the land, the girls will actually have to fight emperors and mercenaries alike. Again, that is all I want to say about this series. I feel like it's another one you just need to dive into and experience for yourself. But I did have such a good time reading the first book that I have now decided to continue on with the series. In order to do that though, I definitely need to buy a physical copy, so I will need to do that soon. But yeah, I'm so glad I decided to reread Truth Witch. I was very close to unhauling that book, but now that I've given it another shot, I found that I really did enjoy it, and now I'm just eager to find out what happens in the rest of the books. So these are all of the books that I'm planning on reading in April, as well as Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. I'm really hoping that I can get to all of these. They're ones I've been wanting to get to for a while now, and I am really excited for each and every one of them. Please do let me know your thoughts on any of the books down below for me. I'd love to know if you've read any of them. Whilst you're down there, don't forget to click the like button if you like this video, and again, please make sure to check that you are subscribed to my channel. Like I said in the middle of this video, we do only need one more number to be crossed off the bingo board before I can host a giveaway, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, then you cannot be entered in that giveaway, so definitely make sure to do that. But that is it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It truly does mean the world to me, and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye!